All right, Jet fans, here we go. Got another big divisional matchup coming up this weekend. We got the Bills versus the Jets in Orchard Park. Can we pull another surprise victory out? Can Mike effing White redeem himself from last year and exercise those demons? Dan?
Make or break, man. Make or break. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another session of Jets Therapy. We're going to be breaking down the upcoming game, like Gordon said, versus the Bills. Huge game, divisional game. I mean, we're in the thick of the playoff run now.
Yeah.
This is what we've been waiting for. This is what Joe Douglas and Sal were preaching before the season started. We want to be in December. We want to have meaningful games. I feel like we have the roster to win this game again. I truly do believe that. It's just fun. Can we just take a second, just for a second, and enjoy the fact that we're playing meaningful football right now?
Yeah.
Usually, we already have who we're getting in the draft locked up.
Last year we were
how many
we were hoping
losses
for
can we
number
have?
one.
Yeah, I mean, this is like Jets fans are losing sight of, and now I'm not going to be okay with just like a 8-win season, or anything like that. Of course, at the beginning of the year, I probably would have said, yeah, absolutely, 8 wins, sign me up for that. 9 wins, sure. But now that we're here, and I'm sure you as well, I'm like everybody else. Yes, I want 10 wins. I want 11 wins. Yes, I want to make the playoffs, and I want to make a run, of course. But that doesn't mean that we can't be happy about the fact that we're here, and we got a big one coming up here versus Bills.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, dude, we're playing meaningful games in December. I think we are a little bit ahead of schedule than, as far as this rebuild or whatever you want to call it, the whatever, like I said, whatever it is, and we're playing very good game. Like, we're playing games that matter right now in December against the Bills, against divisional. We still got 2 divisional games left in the Bills and then the Dolphins at the end of the year. And then between those two, we've got some winnable games, and we've got a shot to make a legitimate push for the playoffs this year, whether that's in a wild card spot or a legitimate top 8 seed. I think we've got the roster, like you said, to make that top 8 seed. So this game, I think last game we said against the Vikings was a big one. I think win last week, and that gave us a little bit of a cushion, right? But this one is a determining the end of the year, right? Like determining the end of the season. It's a divisional game. It's a big one that we, a person who's above us. So we could get a game closer back to them. So we'll see, man, because the Bills have got us and then the Dolphins. So they've got 2 big games back to back. So
yeah, I'm happy we're in the position that we're in, where we're not fighting for a playoff spot. Yeah, obviously we are, but we're in it right now.
Yeah.
So we control our destiny. So I mean, and we've had so many games. I mean, that's just the NFL, but we've had so many games that have been kind of, wow, if it wasn't for that game, it wasn't for that game. If we didn't have that comeback, if it wasn't for the Browns game,
yeah,
we would be in a much tougher spot right now. So I'm happy about the fact that we're in the playoffs right now. The season ended today, which is fun.
Yeah.
And it's always fun going into a game saying, if we win, we're in. If we win, we're in. Instead of, hey, we have to win, and then the Patriots and then the Chargers have to lose and the Bengals have to, it's just nice controlling your own destiny. And that's just another added bonus to this year. That's been fun. It's been entertaining. I mean, how many years in a row have we had where we haven't even had entertaining football?
Exactly.
And that's why I take last week's game a little bit with a grain of salt, and I can see the positive out of it. We're like, yes, we lost. Yes, we should have won. We were the better team, hands down the better team. I felt like that was like the Vikings just trying not to lose, and the Jets were playing to win. That's how I felt the whole time. Even after the game, I was like, I can't even remember like how the Vikings won that game. Like, how did they win that game? We had the ball feel like the whole time.
Yeah,
and that's just fun. So it's fun football, Gordon. It's fun football.
And dude, like you said, it's last year or previous years, at this point in the season, we're like, what are we playing? Like, we're literally wanting to lose now. You know what I mean? Like, if we win, it doesn't matter. If we win these games, it matters. If we lose, it matters. You know what I mean? So you said, it's just bringing fun. It's bringing that extra oomph back into the game as a Jets fan and for the New York Jets football. So yeah, I mean, kind of like you said too, last week's game, dude, like we had 2 drives within the last 2 minutes to go and win the game. Braxton catches that ball in the end zone, we win. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, that game would have been nice to win, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
And that's
And
why
we're
that's
still
why
in
I'm
it.
so frustrated by so many people that are saying Mike White, he needs to sit, Zach needs to come back and continue. I'm
He threw for over
one
350
catch,
yards again.
one catch. If Bam is able to just kind of dive into the end zone, if
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson doesn't trip, like you can't predicate a guy's future based off of one play. He fought his ass
I
off. He
agree.
got us into that position, and he played a terrific game. Like you can't. I mean, literally Braxton fingertips. If he grabs it, it's a completely different story. We're 8-4. Everyone's saying Mike White is the GOAT. With that being said, I honestly think this next game is going to be make or break for Mike White. As much as I don't like that, it's something in the back of my mind. If this organization truly feels that Zach Wilson is the future, he's going to have 3 games off. That's a pretty hard reset.
Yeah.
And if Mike White doesn't show that he's going to be the dude for the rest of the season, I think one of two things happen. After this game, he either starts the rest of the season or he's done.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I think a lot of people are going to say that that's incorrect, but I either think that he plays in a certain capacity where the coaching staff goes, this is him, he's our dude, or they go, okay, he's not giving us what we need. We know that the potential that Zach Wilson has. We're going to put Zach in, and Zach is going to literally have the weight of a franchise on his shoulders. Because if he comes in and plays terrible versus the
Lions.
Lions.
So it goes Bills, Lions, Seahawks, Jags, Dolphins for us. I believe that the Seahawks and Jags may be flopped, but
isn't it the Jags? Because we're getting together for the game next week.
Is it the Jags? I thought it was the Lions.
Whatever it is, that's a very similar caliber team in some way. Even though Lions are playing great football right now.
Yeah.
But anywho, like just pretty much what I'm saying is they don't want to bring Zach Wilson back versus the Bears. They're going to try to set him up for success as much as possible.
Yeah.
And if we do have the Jags, can you look that up?
It's Lions.
It is the Lions.
Lions.
Okay.
After this, it's Lions, Jags, Seahawks, Dolphins.
Okay.
So to your point.
So anywho, we're going to see Mike White or we're going to see Zach based off of this game.
I think he's got 2 games left. And I think, and I'll tell you why, because I think if we lose this game, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're on the outskirts, right? I think it also depends on what the Patriots do and those teams behind us that are a game or 2 behind us. But again, say Mike White goes out and does another, the Bills kill him like last game, maybe you're right. Or like last year, maybe you're right. He goes out there, throws a 3 to 4 interception dud. We lose the game, we get crushed. That could very well happen. The Bills
essentially what he did last year versus
exactly. But say he plays again like he did against the Vikings and it's a close game. We don't win. We're only, we lose by a touchdown or something like that. I think he goes again against the Lions because, again, I think the Lions are a favorable matchup for us. Now, again, the Lions are a dark horse. They have beat some of the best. They've lost to some of the worst. So it's like we don't know. But I think that matchup for us plays well on paper. But the reason I say that is because say Mike White loses against the Bills. Then Mike White loses again against the Lions. I think in the heads of the coaches in the front office, Mike White's not that guy, right? So then we let Wilson come back in for those last 3 games against the Jags, against Trevor Lawrence. That's a big storyline. Against Seattle, that's a huge storyline for the Jets because we fleeced him in the Jamal Adams trade, Geno Smith, Pete Carroll with Saleh. There's a lot of storylines there. Yep. And then obviously Tua and the Dolphins, that writes itself at this point. So I think Mike White gets 2 more games to really show what he's got. But our offense has had more yards with Mike White at the helm.
That's the thing, dude. So it's let's get into that for a second.
Yeah.
This team is just obviously different
with
Mike White. I don't care if you're playing the Bears or the Vikings. And that's why the last 2 weeks were fun because you saw some of the worst and then some of the best.
Yeah.
And White, yes, he didn't perform as good versus the Vikings as he did the Bears. Well, why did that happen? Because the Vikings are a better team.
Yeah.
But you are seeing just an obviously different offense with Mike White behind center. I mean, it's just black and white.
The culture of the team has elevated, it seems. You know what I mean?
Yes. Dudes are kind of picking each other up a little bit more, like off of the field, just in terms of what they're doing on social media and kind of the camaraderie of the team.
Yeah.
That would be a very difficult thing to break right now. And that is going to be another. I think the decision to bring Zach back is going to honestly be more predicated as well on like, how is the team going to respond to this?
Yeah.
Because they're not going to bring him back to a team where guys are going to be now, rolling their eyes and get upset with each other and, You know, I mean, we had visibly dudes throwing their hands up at Zach Wilson because they were wide open. He wasn't throwing it to him. So like
Exactly.
that just literally cannot happen again because the locker room will fall and it
Yeah.
will be Saleh's fault. So that is where the head coaches get paid the big bucks because you're literally making a decision not just to win, not for your franchise, not just for a playoff run, to see what is this team going to be like next year. Like, how are you as a head coach handling the adversity of now a QB competition where you
Exactly.
want the guy that you drafted #2 overall to be the dude, but he's not right now. We don't know if he's ever going to be.
Yeah.
And then you have Mike White, who might be the guy that we've been waiting for, you know, just kind of like a hidden gem, but we're not 100% sure yet. How do you, and then do you trade Zach? Do you keep Mike White? Is Mike White future franchise? This is why you have a good head coach to handle these situations, and Saul has been handling, I think, really well.
You said it you said it, man. I think we finally have a head coach and a GM who we can trust to make these difficult decisions and make the right decision. Now, again, Mike White may not pan out. Zach Wilson may not pan out.
Don't say that.
They might not. I don't know. You never know.
Just give me one of them. Tell me one of them's going to pan out, dude. Jesus.
But
please.
Everything else that they have done, he handled the Moore situation phenomenally. Joe Douglas had arguably the best draft we've ever had last year. So we are trending up for that one minor spot at the QB, which again is the most important spot, but we are trending up for sure.
It's a minor thing.
But it's also like the biggest thing.
A franchise quarterback is just a small thing holding us back from being the team that we could be. Imagine if we had let me just go on my pedestal for a second. Imagine if we had like a Burrow or a Herbert with this team right now. Dude, I think we might have 9 wins.
I'm not as high on Herbert as a lot of people are. I would love
his team stinks, dude.
His team does stink. I will give him that.
He's great. I think he's great. He's a baller. But you know, Mike White's shown us a lot, and he is too. He has kind of that and I love the way White handles the media as well. Yeah. He's like, he gives you he's a human when he talks to you. When Zach talks to the media, he's like a statue.
Trying too hard almost, you know?
Yeah, he's like almost trying too hard to not give them stuff. Dude, you're allowed to you're allowed to have a personality.
Yeah.
You know, you're allowed to let people in a little bit. It's okay.
Maybe that's just Zach. I don't know the guy. I
don't know, man. It is. Hey, maybe he is like those rumors of him being a jerk at BYU. I mean, I don't know, man. It's a weird one going on with him. I honestly don't know. Like, I mean, it's just, I think he, as much as he doesn't say it, I think he does. He really cares about what people think of him. Yeah. I think that's the main problem.
It's human nature, Dan.
And he's like, has a girlfriend, doesn't have a girlfriend. He's kind of like finding himself in New York. He wants to be the guy, but he's not playing great. He has all the talent in the world, but he came from a small school and I think it's just his head is all over the place. Where you have a guy like Mike White, he's got his kids, he's got his family, he has his life established.
Grounded, yeah.
And he said it best, like, if I don't perform well here in the field, I'm not taking that to my house. I got 2 kids that depend on me. Zach is going back to probably some sort of a penthouse suite somewhere.
Some sort of mom.
But he's some sort of mom. But I mean, he's going back and he's alone at night.
Yeah.
I don't know, with his girlfriend, whatever. You know what I mean? He doesn't have that stability that maybe another quarterback has, and he's just trying to figure it out, and he's not right now. He's not figuring out, and that's why Coach said, "You benched." All right, give me your prediction, man. Hit me with it,
dude. It's gonna be a tough one again because I mean, they obviously the Bills.
Sorry, Baker just went at QB for the Rams, and I dropped my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 days already in there.
I'm gonna put that game on after this. So.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bills are a little beat up. They're coming beat up into this game again, like they were in the beginning of the year. Obviously the huge news again with Von Miller being out for the year now, unfortunate for him. So, thoughts are with him, and obviously his, cause he was looking for another ring with the Bills. So, but I really hope again, I think this high flying offense that we've got going right now, anybody's game, dude. Bam Knight is looking like an absolute stud of an undrafted.
Bam Knight, Michael Carter.
Michael Carter's back.
I mean, they're a very similar runner, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think those 2 guys coming in and out is going to be awesome.
I think Bam's a little bit quicker, whereas Michael Carter's a little bit more slippery. Kind of he makes you miss. You know what I mean? So
sure.
We'll see what happens. James Robinson was a curious trade for me. I think it was kind of an impulse thing.
Not panning out.
Know what we had in Bam Knight at the time. I don't know, but we'll see what happens there. But so let's see. Prediction for the game. 27-24 Jets, baby.
Oh man, this was like the predictions for the Vikings game almost.
27. It may even be lower than that. I don't know.
Did you see the forecast for Sunday?
No, snow.
Snow, sleet, rain, and like 35 degrees.
Let's go.
Mike White loves that. We know it.
Let's go. He loves it.
That's another thing where I have no confidence in Zach in is bad weather.
Yeah.
Because if it's windy, he can't throw the ball. So what happens if it's snowing, Zach? What happens then? Do you even come out of the locker room,
He does his snow
angels out there for me?
So one of the things that we'll talk about it later. I don't want. Go ahead. What you got? Your prediction?
No. What are you gonna say?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Dude. Even up to this point, I have no idea. I've been thinking about it all week. I go back and forth. I'm all over the place. I want to talk about like 6 different scenarios that I think could pan out, but I have to go with my gut.
Yeah.
And I have to think it's a low scoring affair. You know, I'm just siding on. Actually, I'm not going with my gut. I'm siding on the side of what's most probable.
Okay.
In this one, because I usually go with
guy. Let's go.
Yeah, go in statistics. And if last game is an indicator of what this game is going to be, and the weather that I think we're going to have, I think that we see a very similar game.
Okay.
So I think that we're looking at a 23-17 or 23-20 game, but I'm going to go 23-20 Jets, and something crazy happens at the end. Like a field goal from Z.
Defensive interception. Sauce Gardner, baby.
A missed field goal or like something crazy. Like one of the last plays of the game is going to decide this game.
I like that.
Because I love Mike White in adversity. You know, he showed that 4th and 10 to Corey Davis and then the last drive.
The coaches have been preaching
after he almost like should have probably come out of the game for a concussion.
He's thrown into some tight windows, and he's making some very good throws right now. And again, last week was in the rain, and you're making those throws in the rain. Like, dude's got some confidence. And
throw the ball to Elijah Moore when he's open. Dude, I went back today and rewatched the game. Yes, I'm a loser. And every single throw that he made, Elijah Moore was open on like so many opportunities where it was like a bad pass, not even like, oh, well, he hit Garrett Wilson or, you know, he found Brax or something like that. It was like Conklin wasn't even open. You were trying to thread the needle and you had Elijah Moore in a slant across the middle wide open. Hit that dude on a slant and let him go. When we did that one, whatever it's called, the pitch option or whatever the heck.
RPO.
Well, it's the one, it's like the sweep. When he swept over, you know, the one that Braxton usually does, they finally let Elijah Moore. He got like 14 yards. He made 2 guys miss. Let's see Elijah Moore more. The guy has suffered enough. He made a mistake. I get it. It's not what we wanted to see. You don't want to see a guy asking for a trade, but he's back. He seems like a locker room guy again, even though he's acting. I don't care. I just want to friggin' win.
I get it.
Throw Elijah Moore the ball. What were you
like that? So, you know, you kind of alluded to it earlier as, you know, this might be the last game we see Mike White in. One thing to me that's been a little telling is that for the last 2 games, Zach hasn't even been active for the games. Like, he doesn't even have the chance to come in if Mike White. So is that trying to build Mike White's confidence, or is that trying to teach Zach Wilson a lesson? So I think if Zach's active for this game, I think you might be right. We may be seeing the, you know what I mean, depending on how they're feeling. But I think we're going to go with, I think it's going to be Mike White and Joe Flacco again. So I don't know, but that was it. It wasn't really anything big, but it was just something that's like interesting to me.
And we'll hear tomorrow, right? I think that's when he comes out with
Saleh.
Yeah, isn't that when he comes out?
We'll hear if he's active tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
that will be interesting. That will be interesting. I still don't think we see Zach active, because I think that's just like, if I'm not active, why am I not playing? You know, like
that's true.
You might start to creep that mindset in a little bit. And dude, I want to believe so badly that Zach is just not the piece of crap that everyone keeps saying he is, that he's not the selfish child, that he's not the immature kid and spoiled brat. That I don't want to peg him in that light, man. Because look, I mean, it's some of the hate he's been getting is just, it's unprecedented, and it's not fair. His teammates loved him, but I agree. Something has happened throughout this year. I think it's because he's been sucking, and his teammates are just kind of like, you can't continue to act cocky, dude, and stink, you know, like. And before the season, he was like getting everybody together, and he ended last year so good, and we going on these trips with everybody, and everyone loved him. Yeah, I mean, CJ Uzomah was wearing a Man of the Year shirt with Zach on it. Everyone loved it.
everybody wore all Mike F and White shirts last week.
So
So
I
it's
think
like,
that, yeah, I mean, I think they like both of them, but
yeah,
I think that Mike White is just so damn likable. Like
yeah, he is. I agree.
he's a family man. He's a gamer. He's waited his turn. He went to a small school.
Yeah,
Talk about a dude that you want to succeed. You know, you want to see win. And there's something else about when White throws the ball, you feel like it's gonna be caught. I don't know what it is. Like whenever he throws the ball, like I'm like, oh, like I'm excited. And
yeah,
whenever Zach threw the ball, I was like, no, no, please, like don't be intercepted. Like
yeah,
it's just in Mike White, he's only played like 4 or 5 games, and I already am like more confident and optimistic about when that ball gets to here and he's throwing it. I had to look at my form there.
yeah.
Boom.
You
He
know,
gets to here. I probably shouldn't do that motion too much. He finds the open guy, and I'm really excited about when he's throwing it. But when Zach Wilson is, I just don't feel as confident. So
I think we alluded to it last 2 videos ago, dude. I think Zach's confidence is just right
yeah,
now. You know what I
terrible.
mean? And
Well, they
for
just brought in
whatever reason,
what's his face, his QB coach, uh, uh, the guy from who used to work with him when he was in school, and he's got his own business that we hired last year.
I know who you're talking about. I don't
Rick,
remember the name.
whatever. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. You 40, 30, 20 viewers, you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, man, let's wrap this up.
Yeah. What were you going to say? His coach what? His QB coach what?
Oh, did I not finish that statement?
No.
Oh, he came back. He's like been at practice all week or something like that.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they flew him over to like do like, I don't know, work on some, I guess, mindset stuff. I have no idea.
Interesting. I like that though. I mean, it worked well last year. So
You're doing everything you can, to get him in the right spot.
All right, guys and gals.
Yes.
And everything else in between.
Yeah, actually, my cousin, if you're watching this, my cousin Jessica said that she watches us every single time. So thank you for those views, Jessica. Shout out to you. I love you.
Hey.
All right, everybody.
Here without you guys.
We will see you after this Bills game. Let's get that dub. Gordon 27-24, me 23-20. It's gonna come down to the wire. Mike White in the snow. I love that.
I love it. I love a good snow game. Ooh. Jets.
Jets. Let's do
it. There it is.
Bye.